and welcome to another episode of Tribunal of the Grid, where we talk about all things Power Rangers, including the actors that play them. My name is Brandon.
I am Lena.
I'm Will.
And today, we are coming off of a very, very, very interesting day. What day is that, you ask? I'll tell you. That day is National Power Rangers Day. Yes, we are recording the day after National Power Rangers Day, which is also the 27th anniversary of Power Rangers. Wow. 27 freaking years. How, that is amazing. That this show has, that is still around for 27 years.
Mm-hmm.
Holy moly.
That is freaking insane.
I can't believe we're actually here. What?
Right. I literally, I was 4 years old when this show came out. And it's freaking I was literally their target audience.
Yeah.
When this show first came out, and it's 27 years later, and now we're doing a podcast talking about it. That is insane.
Who would have thought we would be here 27 years later and doing a podcast on it? Who would have thought?
Nobody definitely couldn't have. Oh man! I'm actually, I very vividly these are some of my first memories. I remember watching the first season when I was 3, and I just who would have thought that this show in particular would last this long? It's insane.
When you think about it, the concept of it, just the concept by itself, is so ridiculous. It's so ridiculous. It's not even funny how ridiculous it is. Think about it. Teenagers fighting rubber monsters while wearing spandex and helmets. Who would have thought that this would even be a thing? And you have a Japanese woman as a bad guy who is being dubbed by a white lady. Come on. Who would think that show would make sense? But it makes perfect sense.
Well, you know what I think it was? I don't think so much it made sense for our little minds because we were 3, 4 when this came out. I think it was more we liked the colors and we were able to relate to each of these characters individually.
Oh, and we enjoyed the fights.
And I like dinosaurs.
Right? Who didn't like dinosaurs?
I didn't. I'm be honest.
Oh wow!
I'm not a dinosaur person.
I was a big dinosaur person when I was little, and then like you said, the fight scenes. That's what got me into martial arts as a kid.
That was me. I was all about the fight scenes, especially watching the girls fight. Because I already knew I was a daughter. So, for me, I wanted to be Kimberly so bad. I started taking gymnastics. Oh my God, I wanted to be Kimberly so bad. Y'all don't understand.
Oh, I literally learned how to do the split because of her.
Okay. Oh my gosh, I was doing roundhouse and cartwheels and just living my best life. Oh my gosh,
God.
I love it.
I remember basically using outside my grandma's house was some sort of a traffic pole, one of those silver traffic poles for parking. And I can remember punching and kicking it when I was 5 because it made the same sound as when the Rangers would hit the putties. So I would be doing all sorts of combos and stuff on it. I can only imagine what people were thinking looking at me out their window or walking down the street, but I was going in.
No, dead ass. So it's funny that you would say. It's funny that you say that because, I remember being I want to say I was probably 6 or 7. I think I was 6. I think I was 6. My mom got me a Mighty Morphin Power Rangers costume, Halloween costume, and I was the Black Ranger. Now, of course, I'm Black. In case you didn't know. I'm black. So my mom was like, you ain't getting no other color but the black guy because he's black. So you're going to get the Black Ranger. I'm like, all right, fine, whatever. Now, granted, of course, Aisha was already Yellow Ranger by that point. So I'm like, I could be yellow, but she ain't know that. So she still got me the Black Ranger costume. And plus, I wanted to be Aisha because I had hair. But anyway, that's another story. So I had that doggone costume, and I wore it for Halloween. And like, I remember this is during the time when like it was still safe to trick or treat. You know what I'm saying? Because like nobody wasn't really trying to hurt nobody and stuff at this time.
Imagine now, going trick or treating now,
baby. Like I know for my neighborhood now, that is a no. Like you don't, it's not safe at all to trick or treat in my neighborhood now. Like it is terrible, Your Honor. Really terrible. It is bad.
Hand sanitizers and like hand sanitizer wipes. I can see that. And masks.
No, I'm not even talking about that. I'm talking about just like how like my neighborhood has changed. Like my neighborhood is like, because I used to live in like what you would call like a middle class suburb area.
Okay.
And basically, like, cause like basically where I grew up was in like a rural part of South Carolina, but it was still kind of like a city. Like it was still kind of like a city. But it was a very rural city. And my neighborhood was like the suburbs, basically. But it was like the black suburbs. And and it was separated by a ditch. And that ditch, literally, it was separated by like literally a ditch. And like literally, and like that's also the way, because of course it's the South, so it's segregated. So basically that ditch separated where you would go to school. So if you were on the side of the ditch that had the higher property value, the higher property tax, then you got to go to the better schools, quote unquote, the white school. If you were on the other side of the ditch, which was the projects that had the lower amount property tax, you got to go to like the quote unquote bad school, the black school. So for me, I lived in the suburbs. Like I lived on that side. So I had the choice of going to the quote unquote good school or the quote unquote bad school. My mom made me go to the quote unquote bad school because that's where all the blacks was. So I was like, fine, whatever. But the gag is now, like, my parents have since moved out because it was a family home, and that home was big. Like it was huge. And plus my grandmother's passed away. And everything. So it's just my parents in that house. And it's like that house is freaking huge. Like, what did he need with all that? So they went ahead and they downsized and they moved. But that neighborhood, it was getting to a point where it was just like, it was the most. Like, it was literally like, it was doing the most. Like, literally I remember my parents called me. This is totally going off topic, but like, I remember my parents called me and was like, hey, Brandon, you know, this neighborhood is just getting really bad now. And I was like, what do you mean? And they were like, they just found a dead body in the ditch. And I'm like, are you serious?
What?
Yes. I'm like, this is not the neighborhood that I grew up in. This ain't it. Because like my neighborhood was like, when I tell you everybody was cool, like everybody was cool with everybody. Like it was just like everybody cool. We all know each other. We all took care of each other. Like, you know what I'm saying? And when I was going back to the original topic at hand, I would be outside with my little Power Ranger costume on, doing my little martial arts and practicing my gymnastics. And people would just be like, they'll drive by and like, they'll be in the car and they'll be like, hiya, or like, go Power Rangers, you know, like, and like, that was the mood. Like, that was the thing. And like, now it's like, you know, it's changed so much. And I'm just like, wow, like, literally, like, these are the kind of memories I have, like, when it comes to Power Rangers. Like, it was always stuff like that. Like it always brought me, for me. And I know you guys have like your own personal connections to it and stuff. But speaking solely on my own behalf, my memories of Power Rangers are just like, they brought some of the most happiest memories for me, because it's just like that show was like the most perfect thing that could have ever happened to me. Like, seriously. And it changed so much of my life in ways that I didn't know that it would. Because I always knew I had an imagination. I always knew that. I always knew my imagination was really big. Like I literally, I seen, like, I could form plots in my head. Like, I was just like, ooh, I bet this is going to happen next. Or, I'll be guessing the plot of like whatever's going to happen next on the show. Or like, I'll find myself like quoting the lines and like acting like them and stuff. And like, I was like, unbeknownst to me, it helped me discover that I wanted to be an actor. I wanted to be a performer. And like, Power Rangers really put me on that path. So it was just like, it was just one of those things where it's like, oh my God, like, this show really transformed my being. It transformed my whole existence. And I really honestly have to give the show thank you. Like, I have to say thank you for it. I mean, granted, yes, does it get on my nerves sometimes because it's not for me anymore? Absolutely. Absolutely. Which we're going to dive into that in a couple minutes. But, but at the end of the day, it still has a special place in my heart, and I will always love Power Rangers. What are you guys is like saying? Like,
I am with you there. So kind of going back to childhood too, like, I feel like Power Rangers have definitely shaped my entire life, and not in the ways that it did with yours, where you actually got into acting and you actually did the whole stuff, which is amazing. But I think it shaped my life in the sense that, like, it it almost like raised me in a weird way. Like, it raised me in a sense of, like, so I grew up with, like a single mom of immigrant single mom of like there was four of us, right? And she did not speak a single ounce of English. And I'm not saying like she was a terrible mom, don't get me wrong, but there wasn't a lot of values that she could like show me that, well, you know what I mean, that made me the person I am today. And I felt like I learned a lot of those morals and values and views and like self-confidence and all that stuff literally through Power Rangers. And it's crazy to say that, but it's true, and I remember obviously, we grew up kind of poor too, so we had no money. I couldn't take gymnastic like I wanted to, because I really want to be Kimberly like yourself. But when I couldn't take gymnastic because we couldn't afford it, I obviously found communities that were teaching it. But, not the same. You didn't get the same result because you didn't pay for it. And I realized now it was literally like another teenage girl who wanted volunteer hours. So she volunteered to teach how to do a cartwheel, how to do a backflip, a back cartwheel, or whatever you want to call it. And
round off. Sorry, not roundhouse. Round off.
Okay, that's what it's called. Okay, because I'm like, I don't think it was yes. So round off. So I figured, that made you look cooler because you know how to do round off and all that shit. Nonetheless, moving forward, I realized that I ended up loving pink because of Kimberly. I ended up loving certain numbers because in my eyes, they were viewed as good and they were viewed as like lucky numbers for me, even though I'm not sure if that's true or not. Some people know, like, they're like, that's my lucky number because X, Y, and Z. Where for me, it's like, my favorite number is this. My favorite number is 3, 5, and 7. And people be like, well, why those particular numbers? I'm like, well, because originally there was 5 Rangers and then there was 7. And at some point there was 3 Rangers. So
there you go.
You're weird. I'm like, well, hey, what can I say, right? I've always loved them. But I remember just growing up, as I was growing up too, whenever I felt lost, I was always able to visit a season and almost like find my my passion again, find my reasoning, find my like path, if you will, you know. At some point I fell off the wagon of Power Rangers. I think I ended it with the season before. Oh no, I ended it with Lightspeed Rescue. No, that's such a lie. Wow. And
Okay,
what's
so you might have stopped at Dino Thunder.
Yes. So you're right. I definitely stopped at Dino Thunder. So I didn't do those 2 seasons at all. And I remember one day during the summer, um, in my like late teens, I remember thinking, or was it early college years, one or the other. As a young adult, I remember thinking, you know, because we all been there. We get made fun of for liking Power Rangers and what have you.
Right.
And so then I obviously stopped watching it and decided to be quote unquote an adult about things and not watch Power Rangers. I remember one day I came home and something was like, just check out Netflix. Just check out the Power Rangers. And obviously I did Down Thunder, so I'm like, well, I don't need to watch Down Thunder at this particular moment. And the season that brought me back was RPM. After watching that, I remember being like, holy moly, I know what I want to do now. I know what I need to do. And it was like, obviously, right in that time frame, whatever I was doing at that point, I was lost. And it brought me back on track. And it almost like made me find myself again in a really weird way. Or maybe not find myself, but like be more confident in who I am and try to find the path that I was meant to be on, you know? And obviously I went back and did SPD and then now here we are. And I think in a way it did because now I'm doing a podcast with 2 of my greatest friends in the entire fucking world. Like, what? So yeah, that's my story. Like, I don't have cute little childhood story. I never got the costume. I wanted the costume. Never got that. Couldn't afford it. Didn't even know it existed until now. You know. But yeah, that's me. But that's how I came back into the franchise. It's crazy, like because when you think about it, you don't think that something as silly as a TV show can essentially make you who you are today or shape
Right.
who you are today, you know, and in a good way too, not like, oh, you know, you're a geeky little nerd person sitting in a dark room, you know,
Right.
making like, you know what I mean? Like, you know how if you liked anything other than what we consider as normal in society, you were geeky or you're like, oh, you're nerdy. I don't know about you. Now it's different. It's like, oh yeah,
Right.
you like that? That's cool.
I feel like around the time I was in maybe like a senior in high school, people started to get back into nostalgia. And then as we can see now, adults are just like all about nostalgia. But
Right.
Right. Isn't that
yeah.
crazy?
I think it has something to do with because being an adult is freaking hard. So we kind of want some familiarity of simpler times and things
Like
that
we
make us happy. At least that's how it is for me.
like we should have listened to our adults when we were younger when they told us to not grow up so fast. And we're like, no, you want to grow up. You want
Baby,
to honestly.
child, I think about that every day. I'm like, oh, if only I actually listened to my parents when they were
Right?
like, you know what, you want to be grown and everything. You think you know everything, got your little high school diploma and everything, and you think you want to be
Damn.
you want to be an adult. Shoot. But go
Yeah.
ahead, Will. Will you? What about
Oh
you?
gosh. Oh my god. I don't even know. Like it just feels like it's been with me since I can remember. I oh god. I don't know if I saw Day of the Dumpster, but I feel like whatever I saw, like there was some sort of a preview, not necessarily the last time on Power or today on Power, not that. I feel like it was like some sort of hype to get you into the episode. So maybe it was Day of the Dumpster. I don't know, but I watched it and I was just, oh my god, I was just, it just. I can't even put it into words. I was obsessed. Obsessed, absolutely obsessed. I can remember it was kind of like I watched the reruns of Saved by the Bell, so it was kind of like Saved by the Bell with monsters and robots and martial arts, which was kind of cool. And I was a big Batman fan. Batman was one of the first things that I ever remember watching.
Yes.
So it was kind of like that in a sense too, just as far as the main characters having secret identities and then a team because Batman had Batgirl and Robin, and then we have the five Rangers. But I'll say I think that one of the reasons that I cherish friendship so much is because of Power Rangers. Like my friendship means so much to me. It's like a lot of my friends are like, even though they're not blood, they're like they might as well be because I care for them so much. So that was one of the things for me that I feel Power Rangers taught me to be a good friend and to cherish the people in your lives. And the martial art, I really wish that I would have been able to stay with it longer than I did. But it is one of the reasons that I got into martial arts as a kid, and also why I've kind of dibbled and dabbled since being a kid. And I love the action genre and like martial arts. Anytime a movie or a TV show has martial arts sequences or fight sequences, I'm always like so into it because of Power Rangers. The gymnastics thing, unfortunately, like I can't remember if I straight up asked or if I just assumed that my mom would say no because gymnastics was for girls, and I'm doing air quotes for
Mm-mm.
that. I can't remember, but I would have loved to have done it, but I didn't. Because I wanted to do the flips and everything too, because that was so cool.
So badass.
Uh, yeah, but yeah, like Power Rangers. I was with Power Rangers from that first season until Lightspeed, and I was Lightspeed. I want to say I was 10, so it was between fourth and fifth grade, and Power Rangers became corny, quote unquote, by like Zio for kids in my school. So I started to get teased. In first
That was the
grade,
best season.
I'm starting to get teased when we're only 6, which is like, come on now. That kind of goes to show how Power Rangers is still viewed today. The
Right,
6-year-old is saying it's
right.
corny,
Quiet as a
but
scout.
I digress. But I didn't care. I love me my Power Rangers. I would still get Power Rangers every Christmas, including the Christmas that Lightspeed was out. And at that point, I had kind of made the decision like, oh, I think I'm too big for Power Rangers now. And just like Lena around college age is when I just randomly gave it a shot because I was on a forum and somebody made a post about Power Rangers, and we were like reminiscing, and then they had posted a link of the first season, and I was like, oh wow, I know how to do torrents now, so let me download this. And initially I was like, oh my god, like I like this, like what's going on here?
What
And
season did
then
you watch when you came back to it?
the first season,
Oh, all
and
over again.
then and then as I was going through the episodes, it was like the charm of the cheesiness just got to me, and I was 3 years old again, and
Oh,
I was just like that. That really sparked my introduction into the fandom, and then eventually I joined Ranger Board. I went to Morphicon that next summer. And then a couple of years later, I met Brandon on Instagram, and then he
Right.
introduced me to you.
Had no
Um,
idea we even knew each other all these years.
Right. And
So
oh
great.
man, it's been such a fun journey to rediscover some things that I didn't remember or discover things that I had never seen in the series. And I try to, it has its charm. It actually did have some nice moments where it seemed like they were actually trying to make a TV show, and I
Yeah.
appreciate it. And it's been with me since I was 3 years old, and I'm 30 now. So it's like this whole 27-year span, like this has been one of the constants in my life. And I
Mhm.
did real quick, Halloween, I believe I was the Red Ranger. It had to be like Halloween 94, I want to say. And I was the White Ranger maybe like the next year.
Look at you.
Um
At least you
yeah,
had two costumes, child.
Right? You,
I
you
had the same one, that
I
same
had
Black
none.
Ranger, and I wore that thing out, honey.
I had
I
none.
wish I got to keep it, but I'm pretty sure probably my big brother threw it out because he throws everything out for some reason. But
Don't you hate those people?
that's
Like, I
annoying.
want to keep my stuff.
But yeah, that's like an abridged version of my Power Ranger story. There's still more stuff that we'll talk
Yeah, no,
about.
I
Oh.
agree.
Well, I mean, oh well, shoot. If we were to tell the whole story, we'd be here all day, and we got a show to do,
Right.
so we can't tell the whole story, child. We
Especially
can't tell
like,
the whole story.
so she each one of us take a turn. Oh, it'd be 3 days by the time
Okay,
we're done.
baby.
All right,
This
we got to
this
do
episode
it.
will be 3 hours long. Well, Lita, we got some Ranger things. Go ahead and hit us with that.
We do. So Becky G, who played Trini in the 2017 movie, she literally actually just released a sunglass collaboration with a company called Dime, and there's 8 pairs, and they're crazy reasonable. They're sorry, eight. Wow, I was going to say they're $8 each, what I'm trying to say is there's 8 pairs of 8 different designs, and they are at $30 each, which is crazy affordable. I mean, really, I mean, okay, it's affordable, but how affordable? It's affordable since we are in the middle of a pandemic. So I will have to take that back. $30 is still a lot of money, especially since there's 8 pairs, but affordable in the sense that if you really wanted to snatch one, it's not unreasonable, and they look high class, they look fancy, they look super cute. And what's really nice about them is that they got cute little details that really specify that they are a Becky G collaboration. And I've never really heard of this sunglass brand, but apparently they've worked with another big time YouTuber called SS Sniper Wolf. If you guys don't know who she is, she's quite funny. She does a lot of reaction videos, but she was originally known for her gaming, and that's how she essentially more or less got famous on YouTube. The bad news with this cute collaboration is that it's already freaking sold out. It literally sold out within hours when it got launched.
Dang.
Like Becky, she been serving us, and people were waiting for it. People bought it out. Like, I'm not even kidding you. I was looking at it thinking like, oh, should I splurge a little? I mean, I really can't afford it, but should I? Well, by the time I was done that thought process, it was already gone. Why don't they make
Dang.
it up?
Child, that stimulus money, girl.
Right? Like, dude, how y'all have money to be spending on these? Whatever. Not judging them. If you got money, if you got money to spend, fine. You know what? I'm sure Becky appreciates the support. So at least it went
Absolutely.
somewhere. So I can't deny that. So but however, it's still available on the website. So should you go, the link is in her bio, and the post is on her Insta. So you can always click onto her profile and click onto the link on her profile, and you can actually sign up for email notifications for when these frames are back in stock. So it doesn't look like they're completely sold out for now. I think they just made very limited quantity, which I'm still shook as to why, because Becky always sells out. Whatever she does, she sells out, because that's the queen. That's what she does. And the second thing for Ranger News is Ranger Things, I should say, is we are looking forward to fall because there's going to be a brand new movie being released on Hallmark and W Network with Chris
Violetti, I guess.
Violetti,
I think that's his last name. Violetti.
right? Violetti. Well, hopefully he does not listen to this. Unlikely he will.
Sky from
And if he is, we
Sky from
apologize.
SPD. Sky from SPD.
Yes,
If the
he is
butchering of the
also
name
known as,
confuses people.
right, and that's what I was just gonna say. And also, aka Sky, the blue SPD Ranger, who later on became red. The movie is expected to release September 26th, and it is called Love at Look Lodge. Wow, that title is cringy. Very cringy. I mean, I don't need to tell you what the synopsis is probably about because it's a Hallmark movie. And if you watch any of Aaron Cahill's movie, you have an idea.
Basically.
You know,
They're
you
all the
have
same.
an idea.
They're all the same.
So that's it
It's
for
just
me.
good to see them like do their thing. It's so cute.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
And you know what? I don't think I've ever seen Chris in like a love movie. So this will be interesting to see. Ale Kane was in a few Hallmark movie. Obviously, we got tons of Aaron Cahill movies, and then Serena Vincent is coming out with a movie. But we can see them, in those movies. But I never been able to picture Chris in a movie, so that's gonna be super cute to watch.
Well, it's weird because I would have thought that he would have done one much sooner because
Right?
he has that look. Like he has the look of the leading man that's like, that'll sweep the girl off her feet, and he's kind of like has that quirky thing about him where he's like kind of clumsy, but he still has a really big heart, and he's really cute,
Right?
and like he just has that whole thing about him. So it's just
Right.
like, oh.
Which is why I'm so surprised that they have yet to do a movie. Like yet to do a movie like that. Like what? If anything, I thought he'd be like Aaron Cahill with all the romantic movies coming out and what have you. He really does have that look, and he's tall, so he's got that very very like tall, dark. Okay, maybe not tall, dark because he has blonde hair, but like tall, blonde, and handsome kind of. That surfer like
Like he has that look of like that guy, the boy next door.
So I'm really shocked that he hasn't done one yet. So I'm excited to see this movie once it launches. Ooh! Oh! One more thing. We've already mentioned this before, but I definitely want to re-mention this again. September 7th, they're officially launching the Broken Hearts Gallery starting Dagger Montgomery, aka the Red 2017 Ranger, called the Broken Hearts Gallery, that's launching in Canada September the 11th in theaters. So I'm assuming once different states have, given the different okay for the different phases, you guys would hopefully have it in your theater. And if not, then convince our government to let you in.
Wow, thanks.
We can watch the movie together.
Wow.
I mean, I heard they're taking anybody and everybody as long as you self-isolate for 14 days.
Hey, that's perfect. Because I'm like, with the rate things are going over here, don't be surprised if all of a sudden y'all hear that I'm in Canada. Like, I'm done with this place. I'm tired.
Seriously, though.
Tired.
Seriously. Like, even off track a little bit, like even just some of the stuff I've been hearing that's going on in the States really truly breaks my heart because I am blessed to be in a country that, I'm not saying it's not happening, but it's not as chaotic as it is in the States. Like it's almost even entertaining when I hear people say to me, we're not as bad as the States, we're nowhere close to the States. And because in some ways they're not wrong, but in some ways by them saying that, I also hate it because then they almost belittle the fact that things are really bad and that we need to, really talk about it and really acknowledge that and try to be better on top of the fact that we are good, but we need to be better. And we need to somehow be able to teach others to be better too. And hopefully our neighbors, aka the states, to be better.
No, it makes perfect sense. And the thing is, it's like there's a lot of turmoil right now going on, and like just starting from the whole George Floyd to Breonna Taylor to the countless trans women that have been killed to the coronavirus to this election.
Oh my God.
It's just like it's a never-ending
lot.
whirlwind.
It's
It's
a
a
lot.
lot. It
It's
is
a
a
lot.
lot. It's physically and mentally draining,
It is.
and it almost kind of feels like we can't catch a break. And the sad part is that during National Power Rangers Day, you know, we're like, oh, we're gonna celebrate, yeah, one of the worst things that could have ever happened, and it's like we lost a hero,
Yep.
Chadwick Boseman,
Yep.
who played Black Panther and countless of other, amazing Black characters in history. This man he was what you would call a transformative actor. Like
Yeah.
whatever role he played, he was not the same character. Like this
No.
man knew how to use the craft and craft whatever kind of character that he wanted to do. I mean, the man was literally a genius.
Chameleon.
No, seriously, like he really was. He like it's amazing the talent that man had and just the ability that he put forth in all of his work. And he did everything for the culture. You know what I'm saying? Like he never did any role that he was like, I'm not going to be proud of this. Like everything he did was for the culture. Everything he did was for empowerment. And he was that shining light that so many of us needed.
Mm-hmm.
When Black Panther came out, like literally, I remember, we Blacks, we turned it out. Like, I mean, we were cosplaying, we were breaking out the dashikis, like, I mean, we were showing out, baby. And, he re-energized us as a culture.
Yep.
Like the Black Panther cast re-energized a whole culture and brought us so close to Pan-Africanism. Like it was amazing what happened. And, to lose somebody of that stature is just, it's almost criminal.
And
especially
if I may,
at what's happening now.
I also feel like he opened up the paveway to other cultures as well too. Like I don't think we would have gone Crazy Rich Asian, and I could be wrong, if it wasn't for him. I genuinely believe that, because after Black Panther came out and after everything that like that went really well with the movie and him as a person and all that stuff. I remember when Crazy Rich Asian came out, I was shook, and I remember thinking, do you think it's because of that film that we got this? And a part of me do believe it did. And then shortly after that, we're about to get our first superhero, or our first Asian superhero.
Yeah.
Simu.
Right.
And for those of you who don't know, Simu is actually known for Kim's Convenient, which is a comedy show about a Korean family that runs a convenience store. And it's actually based in Toronto. There is a real convenience store run by a Korean family, and called Kim's Convenient. You can actually visit it if you ever come to Toronto. But my point is that it was able to create so much more diverse role and allow other race like the Asians to be able to step up and to achieve what he achieved, because the fact that he had inspired all of us to do that. He inspired all of us to want to do that.
Absolutely. And what it also showed as well is that and correct me if I'm wrong, I know this is going to come off sounding very opinionated, but it showed that people beside white faces can make money.
Yes.
We can bring
absolutely,
Absolutely.
yes.
Like we could be leading people, and we can put seats in a movie theater. Like we all can do that, not just white faces, Asians, Blacks, Middle Easterns, like or East Asians, or Native Americans. It doesn't matter. Like
100%.
whoever you are, whoever you are, you can feel. If you are a great actor and you're very talented at what you do, and you have that star power, you can fill seats. You can do it.
Yep. Yep.
And and I feel like because of him, and it's just like in that movie, it was just like, dag, like he really put the spotlight on us. Like he really did.
He really,
And
really
it almost kind of, I remember, like, there was a quote I heard him use, and it pales into comparison with Power Rangers. I'm gonna share it. He said, "Your existence is wrapped up in the things you're here to fulfill. Whatever you choose for a career path, remember the struggles along the way are only meant to shape you for your purpose." And this is coming from a man who literally, like, showed us a whole diverse multitude of characters, and gave us so many different stories from so many different places, and he fulfilled his purpose.
Yep.
And I feel like in a diverse world of Power Rangers, that's what Power Rangers kind of did for us, in a sense. Like, Power Rangers, for each one of us, gave us, even if we don't realize it or not, or we don't connect it to Power Rangers or whatever, but there are plenty of us out here whose lives were changed because of a specific ranger, or a specific storyline, or a specific character, or it doesn't matter. Whatever it is, that ranger or that story or that season changed people's lives. And it actually moved us to our purpose. And into, whether that is cosplaying, whether that's creating, whether that's acting, whether that's stunts, whatever it is, it moved us into that world. And if it didn't move us into that world, it made us have a better and deeper love for it. And so to you, Chadwick, we want to say thank you. We want to thank you for your love, for your life, the life that you led, the man that you were. And we just hope and pray that the family is okay, that the family will be okay. And that, the world lost a beautiful person. The world lost a life. And we should definitely just take the time out to remember him and all of the things that he did as he was here on this earth for 43 years. He accomplished so much within that short time frame. Like, this man did over 5 movies in the 4 years that he was diagnosed with colon cancer.
While going through surgery and chemo. What the actual F?
Exactly. Like, that is freaking amazing.
I something that I can't get over is the fact that like, he actually filmed some of this stuff, like, while he was sick. Like that, like, I didn't really it was hard to believe that at first. Like, initially we got the news and it's just like, oh my God, like, I can't believe this is happening. And then they said that it was 4 years of him dealing with it. And then it's like, oh, wait a minute. 4 years? That means, like, he actually filmed some stuff. He did all of the press and promo for 2 films, 2 of the Marvel films in particular. And it's like what? And, like, I wonder, like, how long he knew that it was, like, terminal, like, it wasn't getting better.
Well, apparently he was already at stage 3 in 2016 when he was doing Black Panther.
Oh my God! Wow!
And it just progressed to stage 4.
And it kind of makes a lot of sense when you look back on some of the roles he did have, like that he did appear in, especially the team up movies. But he didn't have a lot of acting lines or lines. I remember that. And I remember thinking, why did they give him, like, why wasn't he a bigger part of the movie than he had, right? And it kind of makes sense now that he probably wasn't able to do as many scenes as he may have wanted to. Or
Right.
Something for me is just looking at him physically. I wondered why. I think in Civil War he looked a certain way, and then the next times that we saw him, he looked much smaller. And then, of
Yeah.
course, in the last year, um, he lost a lot of weight, and there were. I was wondering what the hell was going on. Like I was thinking, like, is he okay? Is he sick or something? And then, of course, other people unfortunately were really insensitive and
Right.
made jokes about it. And now it all makes sense.
Exactly. And it's just
Um,
like, and that's another thing too. I'm glad you touched on that, Will. Like, and I think I think I've mentioned this before, but it needs to be mentioned again. We need, as a culture, we need to develop a sense of decency when it comes to the internet. This whole idea of I'm trying to be a quote unquote savage, I'm trying to be funny,
Edgy.
yeah, I'm trying to be edgy, I'm trying to be a jerk, I'm trying to be this just to gain attention. I need y'all to stop.
No,
Like, I
that's
really need y'all to stop, because the thing is, and I mean, I understand, you're from a consumer standpoint, we think that we own the actors because we purchase their work, we support their work, we watch their shows, we go to the movies to see their work, and this, that, and the third. So we think that we own them. We think that we make their career, when in actuality, these are people. We don't do anything for them except for we support the product. That's really what it is. We don't support them. We support their work. We support we support their project. We support, their craft. But we don't own them. We don't
not
own
at
their
all.
lives. We're not in control of their lives. We are not privy to certain information. Like, these are people. Just like how we expect privacy for ourselves, actors and other performers and other people, they expect and deserve the same thing. And I feel like, especially now with internet culture, it's like people are just on some, you know what, I'm gonna, if I follow you or whatever, I get to tell you how I feel about you, or I get to make jokes about you. And it's like, no, you don't. You really don't. Like, you don't have a right to do that. And it's sad, honestly. It's sad the way that people have become. It's sad that people have gotten to a point where there's no more decency. Like, there's no more caring that the person on the other end of that phone or the other end of that computer is a human being. It's, I'm going to try to cut you down as much as possible. And, it's really sad. I mean, there's really no other way of describing it. It's just that it's just sad. It's sad that this is how low we've gotten as people. And I remember seeing some of those comments about people making jokes about how small he's gotten, and and it's just like, I knew then something was wrong. I knew then. And also at the same time, my thing was, if he hadn't come out and say anything, it's not our business.
Right.
I agree.
And and that's fine. When he made that, I remember he made a video and he was talking about Jackie Robinson Day. And he was so frail, and he had on like a hat, and you could tell he looked so winded and so tired. And he was like, he looked like he lost about 20 pounds. And he was talking, and you could tell he just sounded so weak. But I knew something was wrong then. I was like, something's not right with him. Something's wrong. Like, this isn't I'm losing weight for a movie role or something. Like, something is wrong. But at the same time, I'm like, he didn't say anything about it. So, you know, he must be, he's not gonna, he's not gonna say anything about it. Cool. But, it just became a big thing. And it's like, come on, y'all, like, let's not do this. And now, this happened. So, rest in paradise, brother, and, continue to watch over us in this time because we need it. Onward to the rest of the show. I just needed to get that PSA out because it's crazy the way things are right now and just the world in general. And, it's like we really need that. We really need a light to, shine, cut through this darkness that has eclipsed everyone at this point. There's so much hatred and vile spirits floating around here now that it's just like literally hell on earth almost. So, it's like we need as many lights and power, as we can get.
Absolutely.
But speaking of power, we are now. Will, you did read? I'll say Ranger Slayer, Draken New Dawn.
Yeah.
Overall thoughts. What do you think about Draken New Dawn? What did you like? What did you dislike? What's the tea?
Overall, it was fun for sure. It felt like the Ranger Slayer #1. That was a great setup to it, and even though it has a different writer, it fits very well. It still feels like it's a continuation of that story, which is what I wanted when that came out. I was thinking. I think I even said I hope that what we get next is actually it feels the same, and it absolutely does. So we're still in the coinless universe with Kimberly taking over the Draken position, but obviously she's now a good guy, and she's trying to kind of reverse the work that Draken did to harm everyone. But I had a lot of fun. I'm definitely looking forward to the next 2 issues. You've read it too, right?
Yes. Now here's my thing. I'm actually going to mention like a specific thing from the actual comment. I am in love with Adam and Scorpina.
Right,
Lena,
right.
I think you would love this. I think you would. They tack on the relationship from the TV show where Sabrina, aka Scorpina, tried to seduce Adam, and Aisha ended up getting entangled in the mix. And that was one episode that Scorpina was there. But I just love the fact that Adam was this, Adam is, I hate that he's so downtrodden and just so, down on his luck because, basically, long story short, Draken tricked him and just like murdered his family on purpose. Like, I mean, killed his wife and child.
That was crazy. Adam had an actual family.
And Draken lied to him and said, "Oh yeah, I'll take care of him. I'll take care of him, all right," and killed him.
Right. Oh, God.
And it's like, damn, homie, like you ain't had to do this man like that. Like, and it's like, dude, he's working for you. Like, you ain't like that was crazy to me. Like, I'm like, bruh, like you ain't had to do Adam like that. And it's sad because like now Adam is just he's so broken that he'll basically follow anybody that's in power.
Yeah, and he has one eye now, right?
Yeah.
He got into a brawl. Yeah, he got into a brawl with somebody. He took Adam's eye out.
with a Brett, my guy, a Brett. Yeah, I would
Now
have,
you going
hell,
you gonna
I
have
would
to
have
tell me
been,
what that is.
that's the
What
guy's
is it?
name,
Oh,
Brett.
oh God. You had me thinking that you had me thinking he took it out with a Brett. I'm like, what is that?
Oh my God. No, I mean, no, I mean, like, he got in a fight with a guy named Brett. I would have
Okay.
been more pleased if the guy's name was Chad or like
Oh
Kyle, because
God.
we all know at least one Kyle that like to punch shit. So like, I mean,
Okay,
if
yeah,
the
yeah.
guy's name was Kyle, now come on now, you know a Kyle that's angry. I know about 10
Yeah.
that are like, if his name is Kyle, he is angry. But like, it's crazy that this one cat named Brett, kicked his eye, and then he tried to shoot and kill Kimberly. I'm like,
Right.
yo, kill this dude, bruh. Kill
Thank
this
God
dude.
for thank God for her new armor. She was able to make it.
Right, because like if it
Yeah.
went for that armor, she would have been dead. He would have
Yeah.
killed her. Like,
So
yo, are you serious? I'm like Scorpina. I'm with it. Do you want me to handle this dude or not? Like, do you want me to
right,
kill him?
right.
Because I got him. You know what I'm saying? Like, what you want me to do?
And
You know?
of course, Kimberly she's not trying to be an actual dictator, and she doesn't want this guy to
Of
be killed,
course.
even though he tried to kill her. But I guess she understands because of her past, even though it wasn't her fault. She was under control,
Exactly. Exactly.
but
And like, I kind of feel like people know that, but they aren't willing to give her the benefit of the doubt, and they're just not forgiving her, because it's just like, nah, I'm not gonna forgive you. Like, you did this to me, you did that to me, I'm not gonna forgive you.
that's a plot point that pisses me off a lot because I've seen this in a few things before. Somebody is completely not of their own power, and they're possessed by something, whether they are still conscious, like, but they can't move, they can't stop what's going on, or they have no recollection of it. It's not them doing it, so why are you
Right.
blaming them for it? I hate when that happens. But so the next part was, she was she asked where they would take people who, commit crimes, and Adam told her about the Deadlock, which is a place where Draken would take all of his prisoners. So they made their way over to the Deadlock. It was really surveilled, like everything was surveilled. So they had to basically come up with a plan to just bum rush it, because they had the robot sentries that were keeping guard. So
Right.
they Kimberly got separated from everybody because she fell through, as they were running in. She fell through some sort of crack, like the ground collapsed, and she found a room underneath the deadlock area. So everybody else was able to get to the prisoners, Scorpina, Adam, Trini, and Zach, and the rest of the coinless. And when they let some of the prisoners out, some of them didn't believe that they were actually there to help and thought that they were like trying to harm them or something. And I think one of the guys was like, if we take them out, maybe Draken will let us go or something. I don't know. Like, what was it exactly? Did they
Yeah,
think
I
that it
think
was?
that was it. Yeah, I think
Yeah,
that was it. It was like they were so just like mentally just like destroyed
yeah. They had
by
to.
by Draken, that they were
Yeah,
like literally imprisoned in their own minds, basically. And it's
yeah.
like they just thought that if this is all a setup. Like, y'all ain't coming to break us out. Like, y'all trying to set us up so that if we actually try to break out, Draken gonna kill us. Like, I ain't falling for this.
Okay. Yeah.
And they trying to, like, basically, come after Zach and Trini. It's just like, dag, like, these people are, like, really messed up. And, like, there's even a part where one of the guys accidentally almost shoots Adam. And Scorpina is like, yo, if you ever do that again, I promise you I'll end you. And dude is like, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to. And I'm like, yo, Scorpina is that chick, yo. I love her. Like, first of all, like, I love the fact, going back to Scorpina and Adam, Scorpina is just, like, you can tell that she kind of likes Adam.
She can't get his name right.
She can't get his name right for nothing. She's on that baby Alan.
Aaron.
Like, I'm just like, poor baby. But she really likes him. I could tell she likes him. Because
he obviously likes her.
And he likes her back. But the part that got me, I was like, oh, this comic is kinky. When she was like, I saved your life, so I own you now. And he's like, you know what? I'm actually not mad at that. I'm okay.
That's exactly what I was thinking of.
I was like, somebody likes whips and chains and handcuffs. Okay. All right, Adam. Freakily. I see you.
Oh, man.
But tell me. The guy who Kimberly released. Now.
Yes. The freaking Arbiter? What?
Doesn't he look like the Arbiter?
Yeah. Our buddy,
I was like, what?
Yeah, our buddy Jordan. It looks like a character that he created for his fan-made film. And that's crazy. It really looked exactly like him.
It looks just like the Arbiter. I'm like, what? This is insane.
Yeah, and we don't even know what his name is. So he was in a secluded area in the deadlock, and she basically kicked the door down, and she saw the body, I guess you could say, standing up in the containment area, and he actually looks up at her, and she tells him she's there to save him, and he's telling her, no, don't save me, don't take me out of here, and she is not listening, and she gets him out of there, and I can't remember if he breaks the chains and like pushes her away. I think it might have been that. He's like, no, don't take me, and then they basically get into a brawl because
she knocks him unconscious.
Yeah, and then she takes him at the base. I believe Kimberly or someone asked him, "What does he remember?" And he doesn't really remember much. Like, he doesn't even know who he is. I think he may have asked where Draken is, and the only thing that he really remembers is, of course, Draken, and then what Draken did to him. And Draken enslaved him. He locked him down in that suit, and he made him watch basically all of Shattered Grid. He got to see everything that Draken did in all of the multiverse. Taking out all the different Rangers. This was interesting, and it kind of gave me like maybe a hint of who this guy is. But Draken would ask him, how would whoever this guy is, would strategize to take Draken out? Like, what would you do to change this thing that I just did, that I was successful at? What would you do to make it so that I don't win? And he would tell him, and then Draken would change strategy accordingly.
Well, who do you think it is?
I think it's Jason. I think that it's the the coinless version of Jason, who we thought was dead. Maybe Draken didn't kill him, and he's just been his prisoner this whole time. Because Tommy always looked up to Jason. Jason was the leader.
Right.
So
right.
who else would he ask for his advice on how he would, change something?
You know what? That makes a lot of sense, actually. I think I'm gonna go with you. I think I'm gonna go with you on that. At first, I was thinking that maybe it could be Zordon, because Zordon is also the type that I feel like Tommy would seek guidance from and would seek strategy and that type of thing with. But Zordon wasn't really a physical being. He was more of like a thing trapped in like a glass tube. So like he really didn't have a physical form. I mean, we've seen his physical form, but we just know him as the thing that was trapped. So it would make sense that it would be Jason. And it would be a clever surprise to all of a sudden have, Jason pop up and it's like, hey girl, hey, I'm not dead, like I'm here, just stuck in this suit.
Because I have to say, reading this issue and then reading the Ranger Slayer issue before this, to see only a scattered few of the original 5 around, it kind of is jarring to me. So I was thinking like, I would love to see Jason and Billy somehow. But obviously
Billy
both
is
of
dead
them,
for sure.
Obviously, both of them died, but at the same time, we found out that certain things have changed because of Shattered Grid.
Right. Billy is definitely dead, but you were saying how like Shattered Grid has changed a lot of outcomes, so maybe it may be the fact that they may not be dead, or like they may be alive somehow.
But at the same time, I feel like to kind of keep the stakes of what happened in that universe, we can't have the full team there. So
no, absolutely not. Like that would be like literally just like story suicide. Like, we're just gonna just bring everybody who died back. Like,
right.
I mean, yes, comics have done it, but it's just like, come on now.
We saw that on Arrow.
Yeah. It's like, I mean, if we do that, can we bring them back in like a different way? Like bring them back and let them be evil or something? Like, something like that. But please do not bring these people back and let them be the exact same way. Kind of like bring back like Kendrick's when she's walking through the light and she's like, I knew you'd make it here. Like, come on now. Like, don't do that.
Where was Aisha this episode or this issue? I wonder.
I don't know. That was the same question I asked actually when I was reading it. I'm like, Aisha's not here, so this is very interesting. But maybe it's a situation where Aisha is just like, girl, I'm getting my hair redone, and like when y'all see me next time, I'ma have my singlies twist where they hanging down my back. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's gonna be giving you everything you need. So, but what about the end?
Yeah. So, whoa, that was something. I actually had kind of been spoiled online by this, but it still was really cool to see. So, Finster 5 lets Kimberly and company know that the satellite from the Deadlock, it's been broadcasting a transmission, and it was beamed into space, like far out in space, and it was answered. I forgot what the 3 words were. Like it understood English, but it answered, and we saw that the entity that answered it was Ecliptor from Power Rangers in Space.
Well, it's not Ecliptor.
He looks different. He looks different.
That's a whole woman.
That was a woman?
Yes, you ain't
Oh,
recognize that
wait.
shape?
I didn't see that. Now I gotta look at that. Oh crap.
Child, listen, like
Wow.
that is Eclipta. Eclipta has double D's and these wide hips, honey. Listen, that is Eclipta.
Oh my God, those are boobs. Wow. I did not notice that.
I am so dead.
Child, you
I
better
was
get
gonna say
into it.
like a oh wow, and then the Quantrons look different as well. They remind I want to say they remind me of the Omega Rangers the best that they have, but you can tell that they're the Quantrons. They just look modified.
Basically,
Dang.
they're modified what you call them? Modified Quantrons.
Hmm. So I'm
But
like,
yeah,
I'm wondering like when did Clipper get a sex change? Now that's what I'm wondering.
I
But
think that that's just a race of ecliptors or a race of his people,
mm, hmm
or that
okay,
could be
okay,
his baby mama, or that could be like his wife, or like his sister, or something, or
okay.
somebody related to him, and then that's what they kill him, and that's what makes him get on his war path of like, I'm gonna destroy the Power Rangers because y'all killed my baby mama and y'all left me with this baby astronomer that I kidnapped. Well, that I'm now taking care of because Darkonda kidnapped her. Now I gotta take
Oh.
care of this baby by myself.
The rage he has.
Okay, he is mad because they gonna kill her.
Oh my god.
But so we
That
gonna
was
go
a good
ahead and
issue.
you say what?
That was a good issue. I had fun.
No, it really was. It was a very good issue. I really enjoyed it. Like my favorite, like I said, my favorite parts was Scorpina and Adam for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna switch to our basically our last topic of the night, which is basically going to be like we started out, Power Rangers Day. Now there is some news that has transpired
Oh.
because of it. The first thing is Power Rangers Beast Morphers. So I'm pretty sure everybody's like, because we kept getting DMs all the time about when is it coming back? When is it coming back? Oh my god! Bring it back to the States. When is it coming? Well, they came out with a date and everything. So just let y'all know to tune in to Nickelodeon at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, Pacific Time. And it's going to be 8 a.m. for both. So don't think, oh, I'm going to go try 8 a.m., their time, Eastern Standard Time or whatever. And, because it's going to be 5 o'clock over here. Nickelodeon ain't showing it. Okay. It's going to be Eastern Standard Time for Pacific too. But anyway, September 19th.
Woo!
At 8 a.m., Beast Morphers will return. Now, the funny thing about that commercial that they showed is that literally that commercial was supposed to premiere the weekend before September 19th. Because if you actually watch the commercial, the announcer says it will be showing next week. And I'm like, we're
Oh
still in
God.
August. Still in
That goes to
August.
show like how lazy they are with promotion, or just like they don't understand how to promote anything. Like, why would you show it the week before and not like in advance? Like, come on. Well, at least
I
they
don't know if they just
happen.
didn't have it. Yeah, maybe they just didn't have a actual teaser for before that weekend. Because that it very well could be the fact that they just didn't have one made. And they were just like, Yeah, about that. Let's just throw that one out because we don't have one.
I
I mean, they easily could have had the announcer just say coming soon, coming September 19th at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. You know what I'm saying? Like, they
don't
easily could
know.
have had the
Just
announcer say that.
given their track record with lack of promotion, I wouldn't give them that. I wouldn't give them that.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I just find it funny that they were like, they released the trailer that was supposed to come out the week before the show actually comes out. Like, I'm like, why would you release that trailer? Like, that's just hilarious to me. But, and I wanted to make sure that people noticed. I'm like, please do not listen to the announcer. It does not come out next week. It comes out September 19th.
Oh man.
So yeah. So for many fans have already seen it because it's all the Australians have already gotten it, and many people have already watched it. But for the people who haven't, you are in
like me.
like you.
And me.
And, well, yeah, and
Oh,
you.
okay.
I'm the only one out of the group that has watched it. But it is a treat. It really is. It is a treat.
That's a relief to hear.
Um,
I
it,
mean, I
it
already
actually
heard
is.
that, but yeah, I'm
I
happy to
mean,
hear that.
there some things about it that is like WTF? Absolutely,
Of
absolutely.
course.
But but the main beats that they hit were were really good. Like I have to be honest. Like the main beats that they hit were great. Like they really knocked it out of the park as far as like the main big plots of it. But just the way that the progress goes as to how they get there, it's like, all right, good. That was a choice. But yeah, that's just how that is. But I mean, power, the storytelling, it has always kind of been a weak point for a lot of seasons of Power Rangers. Sometimes they had some issues with storytelling, but as a whole, this second half of Beast Morphers is actually really good. It's really good, and I think you guys will enjoy it a lot. Now, when it comes down to that dino battle, the big dino battle, we need to review that. We need to review that because, baby, I want to know y'all reactions to this.
Yeah,
I want to know.
that's obviously like the biggest thing that I'm looking forward to seeing.
Oh, absolutely. When
Yeah,
you
because
when you see
yeah.
it, yeah,
Like
yeah.
I like these characters though. It's been fun getting to know the Beast Morphers characters, but
Oh,
um,
absolutely.
I'm so happy to hear that um the season got better because I was really after that great opener. That first episode for the first season was so good, and then everything else kind of paled in comparison. So it's
Right.
really this whole time, like when you saw it, you were I know you were saying like it was better, and I had heard that from other people. So that's it's been what like 4 months, and I've just been holding on to you guys' word, looking forward to seeing it again. So I'm looking forward to what, like 3 week, 4 what,
Yeah, about
three
3 weeks.
weeks from now?
Yeah, about 3 weeks from now. Yeah, I want to say about 3 weeks. Yeah,
Mm-hmm. A
but
long
yeah,
time
so
coming.
right, because baby, like I'm like, when are we gonna get this show back? I thought it was gonna come back this month, but child, it was like,
Yeah,
nah.
I would have thought like this. Oh my
Yeah, something
God,
like that.
yo, I just realized something. This week is like our 2 year anniversary.
It is.
It
It
is.
is.
Yeah, because the Dimensions in Danger, that was the 28th in 2018. And then
Yep.
I believe that's the first time that we recorded, or at least around that time.
Well, yeah, around that time, yeah. It was around that time that was our first time we recorded. So yeah, like it's almost been 2 years. Well, it has been 2 years for us.
Crazy.
Happy anniversary, guys!
Happy anniversary!
Ah! Things we find out now.
That is so
Right?
funny how we really just like beeline like right past that. Like we had no idea when our anniversary was. We really need to remember that date.
Oh my gosh.
We need to remember that date.
No, you know what we can do? We can mark the day that we upload our first episode.
Oh, so that's the day we're going with?
I mean, would that make it
What was
easier?
that?
Because I thought it was going to be the first day that we ever made a post.
Yeah.
That's right. Well, then that means like, oh, shit. With that, the first time we ever made a post was like right before Power Morphicon.
Yeah, so that was it was in August though. It was in August. It was in August of 18. I just don't know the exact date.
All right, let's go back and find out. I can't believe we totally beeline this.
Totally just forgot about it. Like it just like I can't believe we forgot about this. Like
I mean,
hilarious.
there is a shitload of stuff happening right now because this year alone feels like 2 years. So
it really does.
For real, it really does though. Like it literally does feel like 2 years. And wow, I cannot believe this. It really has been 2 years, y'all.
So crazy! Look at us.
2 years of just Power Ranger goodness, growing, and just wow. Like I remember when we first made our first post, and like from our first post to like now, it's just like it's mind blowing the way that the page and just everything has grown. And like, wow, guys, thanks. Like you guys are amazing.
Send
So
it,
our
please.
first post ever was August the 4th, 2018.
Okay, so August.
August the 4th. That is insane.
Yo, you kidding? Holy moly!
August
4th, 2018.
Yeah.
So y'all
make a mental note of that.
What did
We
you
gotta
say?
make a note. We gotta make a note of that. So that is our anniversary.
I mean, I can't believe I even like made it very like what like like this is definitely our first post. Welcome to our Instagram account.
okay.
Wow. I mean, it couldn't be more obvious. So dead. Oh God.
I love it.
Oh, and then I went to the explanation of how we got our names too.
I love it. I absolutely love it. Booyah. August the 4th. So yeah, like you guys, well, once again, happy anniversary. I know like we could have done this weeks ago, but we're doing it this time. So it is what it is. We still in the same month.
I agree.
Okay.
Dead
But
ass.
wow. To a fabulous 2 years and many more going forward. Like this is like wow, this is awesome. But speaking of, Lena, I know you wanted to mention the video that I created for Power Rangers Day.
Yo, that video, when you first sent it to us, I didn't know what to expect. But just watching it, and if you guys go to our Instagram page, you'll know what I'm talking about once you get there. It gave me goosebumps. It was amazing. I don't know. Words can't express it. And then the caption that you came up with, I remember we being like, Lena, well, so I'm like, no, definitely not me. Please don't. Definitely not me. And I think one of our friends actually ended up using your caption as well too for his post.
Oh wow.
Yeah, Travis, who was
Oh,
previously
Tribunal.
on one of our episodes, he posted it on Facebook, and he said something along the lines of, because Brandon said it so well that he essentially took it, and he did mention you, but may not have popped up on your page yet. And I just thought, wow.
Oh.
Yeah, it was really sweet of him. I just seen it, and I was like, "Oh, happy National Power Rangers Day!" Explanation mark. I'm stealing this from my friend Brennan because he said it so beautifully. The Power Rangers meant so much to us for different reasons. They taught us about inclusive, diversity, teamwork, discipline, and friendship. All things we need, especially in the world today. End quote. 26 years since the first episode aired here in the US. But I remember my reaction was like, I actually, am not gonna lie, I got goosebumps and I was gonna cry. But what was your reaction, Will, when you saw the video?
I thought that it was a pretty damn epic video. I was so happy to share it in my story yesterday. Oh man, it was. Oh, it was so cool. You obviously you found a way to include every team, including the
The new
2017 movie
yeah,
and the new season. Yes,
the new
that it was. Oh, it was so cool. It was just. Oh man, I just it got me hype. It got me real hype. And then
right? It got me so hyped.
he used the original theme without the lyrics. So actually, I guess like the season 2 version when they got the Thunder Swords, which like that always got me hyped too. Oh, it
Yeah,
was so cool. It was so
it
cool.
was really cool. It was
I
so well done.
appreciated that, Brandon. Thank you.
Oh, no problem. And it's crazy because while I was doing it, I know I must have watched it like a good 10 times before I actually created the video, because it was just like I wanted it to be like perfect. And there was an original before I added in Dino Fury. The crazy part was I wasn't going to add them at first because I was like, they haven't come out yet, like they, whatever. And I couldn't find a clip that was like something that I wanted. And then
Yeah,
also too,
Mm-hmm.
all of the files that I was finding were subtitled. So like they were
Mm-hmm.
all like, they all had like the Japanese, the English subtext. I couldn't find actual clips of Ryu Soldier, what we call them raw files, without the subtitles.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't find
Mm-hmm.
the raw files. So the only ones I could find was just, other clips that just kind of had them kind of standing there after they said their little catchphrase. And I'm like, crap, like I want that specific clip, but I can't use it because it has the freaking subtitle on the bottom. So I was like, okay, fine. You know what? Like, I'm not gonna even use it. And then I was like, no, I need to include Dino Fury because hint hint, Power Rangers, National Power Rangers Day did not include nothing about Dino Fury.
That's such a surprise. That is a huge surprise. I thought that they would give us that info now. I mean, unless they don't,
Right.
unless they didn't, they're not done casting.
Which I don't know. And that's something to talk about because by now casting will be done. And I understand that, of course, this is COVID. So, like things are going to be, behind, obviously. Um, and the fact that, when they get there, they're going to have to quarantine for another 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Then, once they quarantine and everything and they do whatever they got to do, then they got to do ranger training. They got to do the stunt training and all of that, which is a couple of weeks. And then that's when they start filming. So it's like, I highly doubt that if they're trying to do all of that, that they're going to be like, you know what? Um, we're going to try to push this back as much as possible, unless it's a situation, because I do know that New Zealand, as of right now, as of today, the cases of COVID have went up to 90. So they do have a brand new 90 brand new cases of COVID-19. And that was probably largely due to people coming back from New Zealand, from other places, and just, didn't quarantine or whatever have you. And that's how the numbers started going up. So it could be that. It could be largely due to that. And the crazy part is, the show is getting ready to start up again. And I want to say that Simon Bennett was actually talking about it and was basically saying like, oh, well, we'll pretty much be protected because that's what Power Rangers is all about. Like, they wear helmets. So it'll be like, they're basically, quarantining, not quarantining, but, being safe as much as possible because, that's what they use anyway. They use, little helmets and everything. So, so we shall see what happens with everything. But I just like you, I was thinking that they were going to release the brand new actors for the show, but decided not to. I will say this though. At this point, I'm not gonna lie to you. Don't hate me for saying this. But at this point, I really don't think we're gonna see the new cast until next year.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I don't think we're gonna see them next year.
Watch. Watch we get an announcement on Monday or sometime next week.
Yo, I promise you, if that happens, I will be angry. I'm like, yo, y'all just made me go through all of that, and then y'all gonna bust out and be like, yeah, actually, here you go. Here's a new cast information. Like, y'all so full of it. And like that, like they missed if that's the case, they missed a golden opportunity. Like the 28th was the perfect day to go, hey guys, Power Rangers Dino Fury, bam, we got new actors, like, well, what did they do? They gave us a sweepstakes. They gave us a giveaway instead. It's like, come on now. Like, granted, fans, I'm pretty sure fans were happy. Fans were excited and we're like, oh my God, we got a giveaway. Yay, we get toys. But for most of us, we wanted to see the show. Like, we wanted to see something about the show. We don't really care nothing about them toys, but it is what it is. And hopefully the people, they give us the show at some point. But overall, I do have a question for y'all. Now, for example, I know that there was a marathon for Beast Morphers. That's what they did for Power Rangers Day and all of that good stuff. Other than releasing the new team, what would have been something that you would have liked to see for National Power Rangers Day?
Oh man, them announcing the adaptation of Go-Go Power Rangers or Shattered Grid for an animated film that is voiced by the original actors.
Now, you know what? I can actually get behind that. I would love to see something like that too.
Or a freaking a new game that's like an open world game where you get to walk around and stuff like Spider-Man or Arkham.
Yo, that would be dope. High key, like that would actually be kind of dope. That would actually be dope. And then like actually have them like where they have their daily life and you're like interacting with Bulk and Skull. And then like you have like different scenarios that you can do where like you could like push them into a trash can or like throw pie in their face or something. And just be complete jerks to them like they were on the TV show. Like, I mean, it's great. It's awesome. I would love that.
Trying to think any or some movie news finally.
Yeah, but that's not gonna happen
True.
anytime soon.
Nope.
True. What about you, Lena?
I think for me, other than the Ranger, like the new team announcement, there wasn't really much I would have looked forward to. Other than like the anime show, obviously that's not gonna happen anytime soon with COVID and all. So they weren't gonna do that. Well,
No. Yeah, I agree.
you know what I
That
mean?
was
But no,
wishful thinking.
no, I know. So you weren't like realistically, because I'm trying to think realistically what they could have given us that would have been nice to look forward to. Definitely the team casting would have been possible. Have obviously we don't know if they finished casting or not, but that would have been possible via the internet.
Yeah.
So that would definitely been possible. I don't know. There's not much else I could think of that would be realistic that I could have looked forward to. I'm sorry.
No, I
What
mean,
about
and
you?
there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, like like for me, and this is just me. I would have liked to see just now. I'm gonna sound really, really, really just crazy for saying this, and I'm gonna sound like such a hypocrite. I really am. I'm about to sound like such a hypocrite, but I miss the way Saban Brands used to do stuff. Granted, I don't miss the way they did the show. I don't miss that. I don't miss that at all. But I miss the way they promoted because they had the fanfare. It was like they bust out all the bells and whistles. They, sounded the alarms. It was like, it is Power Mother effing Rangers Day. Like, yo, let's get this party started. We got all sorts of stuff for y'all today. Here we got this, we got that, we got this, we got that. The stuff that happened this year, well, not this year, but this month specifically. Like the release of the Tommy, Ashley, and Zach again. I feel like Saban would have tried to hold those out. They would have tried everything. They would have tried their best to give us as much stuff to get us hyped for National Power Rangers Day. Like, I really feel like they would have done that. I feel like there would have been so much fanfare. There would have been so much, like, oh, we're doing this, we're doing that, we're introducing this, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. Like, I feel like that's what would have happened. And this time, it was just like honestly, I feel like if it was Saban Brands, I would have been glued to my phone all day posting. Honestly, I really feel like that's what would have happened. This year, I just kind of felt like I literally went on about my day. Like, I posted, the little thing about Beast Morphers, and that was it. Like, that was basically the news. Like, I mean, we got some stuff from Jason Bischoff, but that's nothing to do with Hasbro. Basically, with Jason Bischoff, he's doing something called Power Down, which basically Power Down is kind of like, since his NDA is over, he can actually give behind the scenes info, if you will, on, certain things that happened that didn't quite happen or didn't happen the way they were supposed to, or, whatever. And he dropped the little treasure on the 28th. and basically it was about the coins of the Master Morpher. You can go on Jason Bischoff's Twitter. It's at Shadow Piper on Twitter. And once again, it's called #PowerDown. And you can find out all the little gems that he's going to be posting about that didn't quite make it into the show or whatever happened. But yeah, we got that. And like I said, we just got just random stuff, but it wasn't even from like the show. You know, it was like side stuff that decided to like come out the same day. You know, but yeah, that's kind of what I just wish that Power Rangers Day could have been this year. And plus, like, a lot of bad stuff happened yesterday too. But other than that, I just feel like it could have been better, at least from a different standpoint.
Oh, those the chalk line jackets.
Yes, yes. We'll talk about that. What about those chalk line jackets?
I don't know how popular Chalkline is, because I asked my two co-hosts about it and they had no idea what it was.
No idea.
No idea.
It's an apparel line. They have like the what kind of jackets are they called? Oh my goodness.
Bomber
I told
jacket?
you guys what.
Like bomber?
A bomber jacket? Okay, like a bomber jacket.
That's what I would describe them as, bomber jackets.
Yeah, they have those. They have shorts, like basketball shorts, tank tops. You can they're all like officially licensed by different brands like WWE, Nickelodeon, different movies like Halloween, video games, and Ninja Turtles, Popsicle brand, and now Power Rangers is going to be a part of their line, their collection. Yeah. So I've seen they've made the announcement. There's no official date yet, but it's just upcoming next sometime next month. And oh my god, it's
free shipping for all US
orders. Oh, that's awesome. One of them is pretty plain. It has the Mighty Morphin logo, the original Saban Mighty Morphin Power Rangers logo on the back. It's a black jacket, and on the side it looks like it has a picture of the Megazord in the background, while the 5 Rangers are on the side or on front of it, and that's on one of the arms. And then the other one is, oh, this is so cool. It's the main part is black, and then on the sides they have different illustrations from Go-Go Power Rangers, the Go-Go comic, and the sleeves are white, and then it has the different designs from the comic, and on the back it has a picture of the cover of the first Go-Go Power Rangers graphic novel, and that one is freaking gorgeous.
It is. It's coming out next month.
September, yeah. So these are some nice jackets that they have, but they're also quite expensive.
$130 US.
Yeah.
35. Sorry, $135 US.
So if you have money, you might want to look into that. I would love to get one, but that's kind of steep. But
and if you have money
it's
and
gorgeous.
you live in the US, it's free shipping.
That's
True.
a positive, though. That is a positive.
Yep. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Mostly gentlemen.
Right.
I mean, there's some girl geeks out there that would get that.
Well, no, we're talking about our listening base, and our fan base is very.
It's a lot of men, and that's okay. That's okay.
There's nothing wrong with that.
It's predominantly a boy brand, so
yes, there's nothing wrong with that. So Because when I said ladies, I was like, and men, but mostly men, because it's not false. It's true.
Yes. Yeah, majority. But it's okay. So that concludes today's episode. Once again, we hope you had a wonderful Power Rangers Day. And, check back with us next time because we're going to have more stuff. And we're going to have more interviews and we're going to have more everything. So keep on listening. Yeah, just keep listening. Please support. Please still support us. Please still listen to the show. Still go come on the page. And yeah. My name is Brandon.
I am Lena.
I'm Will.
And we will see you next time. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Oh,
wow.
It's like stuck in there. Oh, I hate when this happens.
That's what she said.
I'm so dead. I mean,
oh, shit. I'm gonna try to finish this and not. Oh fuck! When I talk, it's like tickling my nose. Oh shit!
Oh my god!
Oh
my god!
Please save this for bloopers. This is great.